So how do you attract new business so you constantly don't have to chase it? Hi, I'm Mike Cuevas, the real estate marketing dude, and this podcast is all about building a strong personal brand people have come to know, like, trust, and most importantly, refer. But remember, it is not their job to remember what you do for a living. It's your job to remind them. Let's get started. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. We are joined today by someone you all probably know. She's all over freaking Instagram. She's all over Facebook. She's all over video. And she's been on the show before, so we had to have an encore. And it's been a while since we had her, so we want to see what's changed from last time. But we sort of wanted to go, what are we talking about today? What are we talking about today? We're just going to talk about content creation. We're going to hit this off the whim because most people don't know what to create, and it's really not that hard. We overthink that part of it. We should really just create the stuff we're already doing on the weekends. And if you have to think twice about what you create, you either need to A, call me, or B, call her, because one of us will be able to help you with your video marketing plan, right? Is that fair enough to say, Mrs. Krista Mashore? How do I say Mashore? Mashore. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our guest, Krista. Why don't you say hello to everyone, tell them whom you are, and let's roll.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. So when Mike said, let's talk about content, I was like, this is perfect. And I wanted to start off by saying there's a book, right? It's called Sway. And it talks about the pre-frame. And what that means is like what you talk about or put in front of somebody before you move them to the next level of your selling cycle, right? From a cold lead to a warm lead to a hot lead makes a huge difference as to whether or not they're going to convert. So there was a study at MIT, and they basically, what they did was there was a college professor who was absent. So they gave these students a biography about the new professor. Each student got the exact same biography that talked about his accolades, why he was so special, the college he had gone to, and why he was the most amazing professor in the world. There was only two words that were different, right? One group of students got he was rather warm. The other group of students got he was rather cold. Everything else was the same. They both saw the exact same presentation. And at the end, they did a survey and they asked the students, like, what'd you like about the professor? So the ones that got he was rather cold said that he was pompous and rude and arrogant and a crappy teacher. And the ones that got the biography that said he was rather warm said that he was, kind and such a good teacher, and he was warm and loving and friendly, and they just loved his teaching style. Now, mind you, they both saw the exact same presentation. Nothing was different except the biography at the beginning, rather warm, rather cold. So what does that tell us, Mike?
Tells us how you communicate is very important.
And it tells us that what you do from taking a lead that doesn't know you, or someone that's from a cold lead to a warm lead, I call them people, right? To a hot person. You mean
they're not commission? You don't have commission breath?
I know. I always say every lead is a good lead, right? It's just like there's no leads, they're people because they'll buy or sell or refer.
So the only difference was the people that knew him versus not?
No, you're not listening.
Walk me through that again. So what did I miss?
Okay, so they were it was like an experiment. Okay, and so they had these students. They watched the professor. They all saw the exact same professor teach. At the end, they said, "Rate the professor." Half the students got a biography prior to watching the professor that said he was rather warm. The other one got one that said he was a rather cold person.
Got
the
it.
ones that got the biography before they saw him speak that said rather cold said he was arrogant and pompous and a horrible teacher. The students that got the biography that said he was rather warm, they said he was loving and a great teacher and amazing. So what that means is that the pre-frame, what people get prior to you moving them in one direction or another, or getting them to take action or not, makes a huge difference. Their decisions change based upon what content or information they get prior to being exposed to something.
Got it. So what we're talking about is marketing versus advertising.
Yes.
And there's a major difference between the two. Everyone tries to, marketing. Most real estate agents assume all marketing has to deal with lead generation and squeezing in someone's email address, phone number, or some kind of other personal information out of somebody, when a lot of times that's not marketing, that's advertising. You're looking for a direct response from a direct action. Marketing is more of like, don't forget I fucking exist. Here I am, there I am, or what's on your website. It's the feeling you give off. It's the image you create. It's the brand people interpret. And it's the feeling they feel when they walk away from you.
It's attraction. Marketing is attraction. When you
Correct.
market, you attract. Advertising is pick me, I'm the best.
Yep. Makes sense.
That's a huge difference, right? So we want to attract people. And if your messaging isn't correct, I'll give you an example. Okay. Every agent does what I call blanket advertising. Let's just call it marketing. Blanket. They say the same thing to everyone at the same time. Yeah. So let's just say I'm a veteran and I don't think I could buy a house because I don't have the best credit and I don't have a lot of money in the bank, but I'm a veteran. I've got a kick butt job. So if I say it's a great time to buy a house, interest rates are super low, that veteran is tuning me out because he doesn't think he has the ability to buy. He doesn't know he has the ability. But if I say, are you a veteran and you don't have a lot of money in the bank and your credit's not so awesome, but you actually are a veteran and you've got a great job. Do you know that you can possibly buy a house and now is an amazing time to buy because interest rates are low and your mortgage payment's probably going to be less than what you're paying in rent and you're going to have a tax deduction.
Oh, now, yeah, all the elements of a sales script right there. I like it.
But my point is that he is only listening because the pre-frame.
Yep.
If I just said now is a great time to buy, he's not listening. He only is listening because I spoke directly to him. And now I've actually solved a problem that he didn't even knew existed. Right.
100%. You have to, you're creating content with solutions versus services. Like that's the difference. Right. Everyone wants to say, I sell house. And right now you guys are all selling the same shit. There's nothing that differentiates you from anybody. But want to know it's something that's really interesting that differentiates a company like knock.com that is helping people buy and sell and do trade-in offers. Right. That's interesting. That's different. They're speaking to a direct audience. And if you look at any of the iBuyer communication that you guys see online right now, they're all speaking directly to a problem. That's why they exist. You're not a real estate salesperson. You're a house problem solver. Quit fucking selling shit and start solving problems and watch what the fuck happens. Fair?
In order to be considered a solution, you have to be solving a problem.
Yep.
So what do? In order to be considered the solution that someone needs, you have to identify the problems. So this is your content. What problems exist right now in the market? Right now, there's limited inventory. So what are most agents doing? They're like, they're creating content about, remove your contingencies, give a higher deposit, give a rent back. No. We don't want buyers. We want sellers. So let's speak to a seller's problem. Are you a seller and you're thinking about selling, but you're afraid that you're going to be homeless because of limited inventory? Well, guess what? We've got solutions for you. Go after the problem that you might not be thinking is even existing, right? Like everyone's trying to figure out, solutions for buyers. No, we don't want buyers. We want sellers because I want to attract more buyers and I want to be able to make my job easier. So finding the solution that the seller needs and addressing that pain point, the problem is what we need to be doing.
And focusing and then I see a lot of your content on IG. Are you always speaking towards real estate? Are you ever creating more community content? Are you doing a mixture of both?
So both. So like for example, this weekend I did a video on a tip on how to drink a gallon of water a day. And I was like, hey, I'm on a health kick right now. And so I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. And here's what I do in the morning before I ever leave my room. I do one of these. I drink another one of these at the gym. And that's a half a gallon. Now I know I'm only 2 more down and it's already 6:30 a.m. Right. And so I just talked about that. I do like accountability things and then I'll do real estate stuff. Like for example, I'll do buying tips, selling tips, low inventory, how to meet that need.
All of them are smart decisions. So your brand and your theme overall is like, don't make a mistake. Essentially,
I'm positive. I'm very positive in my messaging.
Yeah, that's good. I mean that because a lot of people get stuck with what to create. Some people like talking about real estate, and that's awesome. You pull it off well because you're excited and passionate about it. But 90% of the population isn't.
I disagree about that. People love real estate, but the thing is that you have to do a multitude, right? So I create content on like the best restaurants in town, interview like what's the best dog park, where to go for happy hour. We just did one on the best tacos in town. Yeah. We create funny content. Everything. We just do cooking. I'll cook and like show when I'm cooking and give the ingredients to that. People love the cooking videos. And sometimes I just like talk about, something that happened in my day that was either good or bad. Or if I'm excited about something or not excited, it's everything.
but you're just consistent. Here's another question everyone always asks, especially if we're gonna do videos. How many videos do I need to do a month?
So I personally think the magic number is no less than 8. So I say 2 videos a week. I like 3, 1 real estate video, 1 hack, tip, or trick, right? And then 1 niche video. So that might be like a community video that's considered real estate, right? And then I'm going to do a niche video if I've got a niche. And then I'm going to do something like a hack, a tip, a trick. I'm going to be a reporter of something that happened, not real estate related, or maybe, depending, but I'm more so just trying to develop a relationship with my community. And I know that it's like hard for most people because we're afraid of what we're going to look like, what they're going to think, or what if we make a mistake, or what if we say the wrong thing? I said the wrong thing about 10 times in here. And it doesn't really matter,
Right.
What happens is that you start to your community starts to develop a relationship with you, and they feel like they know you. One of my students, actually, she showed up to a listing appointment. They had a big bag of goldfish because she's always talking about she's the goldfish girl. Like, how many goldfish did I eat today, right? And so they had a thing of goldfish for her. That's attraction-based marketing.
That's power. That's great.
That's very powerful.
But so take that, your student there, and how she's just consistent. I mean, people will do business because they like you personally, not like how many houses you sold, guys.
She's super personable. She's been doing it for about 2 years now, maybe 2.5. And she's has opened her own brokerage. She's gone from doing like an average of 25 homes a year to doing, 75. She has buyer's agents now. She's creating, it's insane. And people are calling her, like, she is attracting. Marketing is attraction. Yep. Most people are chasing. When you create content on a consistent basis and you are relatable and you are enthusiastic, right? I didn't say outgoing. I didn't say extroverted. When you're enthusiastic, it draws people in, right? When you're enthusiastic and you allow people to get to know you, it all becomes easy.
100%. It's attention based, you guys. This isn't rocket science. This is farming with content. Like farming a neighborhood of direct mail works. Like, imagine you start doing that to your social channels with content. It's the same fucking thing. The principles are identical, and it's a popularity contest. The more people that know you in a personable way, the more opportunities you're going to have. I mean, there's nothing ninja about this other than actually just going out and doing it. I mean, at the end of the day, how many of these are like your just lives versus edited, produced style content?
All both. I don't really care. So my market updates, I do live. I'm sorry, I do edited, but then sometimes I'll do one live. Like last month I did it one edited, and then I went live and just regurgitated the information, right? People research shows that unpolished video actually overperforms over polished content, overdone content. But when I'm it depends upon the message I'm trying to come across. So when I want people to see Krista as serious real estate Krista that is still funny and nice, and knows her stuff, and is professional. And also Krista that's human, down to earth. One of the things I hear all the time is oh my God, you're so real. I love how real you are. I'll get ready in the morning and put my makeup on, and I'll do a Facebook Live while I'm putting my makeup on. I do that all the time. No makeup. And I look very different without my makeup on, by the way. I'm, it's oh my God, same person doesn't even look like the same person. And I'll do that. Right. And people are like, I cannot believe you're doing that. I love it.
People love authenticity at the end of the day. You're exactly right. That's what happens. Every single one of, you hear the same story every time, no matter who's doing the videos or what they're creating. You don't have to be that good at videos, but you get the exact same feedback and the same stories all the time. And you'll be surprised, you guys, that people actually watch your videos. They do. And sometimes it doesn't matter if you have a lot of views. What do you answer to sometimes when people create content and they're like, well, I only got 5 views, man, so I'm just gonna give up?
Okay, so you don't want to hear my answer because it's not what you want me to say.
I'll hear it. Let's go.
So here's what I'm going to say. I tell people this. If you want to change your business on a massive level, getting organic reach is about less than 0.00001%. The only people that are seeing on your social media channels, it does not matter what channel you're on, the only people that are interacting with you are your friends and your family and your mom, okay, and maybe your dog, which is great, but you want everyone else to see you. So in order for you to make a bigger impact much faster, and I mean 6 months instead of 10 years, literally, you have to put an ad spend behind it. You do, because Like I could show you a video right now that is freaking badass. Is this going to be, do you show just audio or is it video?
We're going to have just audio on this one.
Oh God, I want to show you. It's like the most awesome video, but it doesn't matter. If I didn't put an ad spend behind it, which I did, I put a $500 ad spend behind it, right? And I'll probably get like 1,000 hours of watch time on that. For $500 to get 1,000 hours of watch time, I will do that any day of the week, right?
What platforms are you liking right now?
So my favorite platform is Facebook. We also do Instagram. We're going to be diving into YouTube, but I mean, I've done, millions of dollars in real estate sales and sold over 2,200 homes without ever using anything except for Facebook and a little bit of Instagram. But again, with an ad spend behind it. And when people ask like, how much money are you spending? Well, I mean, last year so I sold only 90 homes last year, which for me is like nothing, but I coach 95% of the time now, like 98% of the time. So we sold 90 homes, 88 of them were listings. And we averaged around on seller content, like videos created specifically to attract sellers, around $1,000 a month. And just from one of those strategies resulted in 48 closed seller transactions that resulted in $760,000 worth of commission from $1,000 a month, one strategy, right? Again, we closed more, but that was just from one strategy. So, and in addition to that, we had other videos that were going out. We were specifically utilizing seller content to attract sellers and then target people, retarget, and then put them through, our funnels and such from that one strategy. So I would say I would put $1,000 a month in all day long to make 760. Wouldn't bother me.
A lot of people though, I agree with you. And they always ask like upfront, what's the ROI? What's the ROI? What's the ROI? I'm going to try to answer this question for them because it's very difficult to put a direct ROI on video ad spend.
Thank you, Mike.
You're not going to get, you're not going to get you're not going to be able to track it. It's untrackable. You can't, it just doesn't work, guys. I wish I had a better answer for you.
You're the only one that knows that. First of all, I love you that you say that because I hear all these BS faces like, well, what's your ROAS? It's like, you can't do that when you cannot say, oh my gosh, everything came from this. It's like, it's all about get more referrals, you get more exposure, you get more, you
can't put a dollar amount on brand. I mean, that's what we're talking about is building a brand versus being a salesperson chasing your next check. You're not going to be able to track when someone saw that one video and then when they got hooked on watching you or when you really had their attention. There was an old saying that Dan Kennedy once said, if you guys aren't familiar, he's a real famous direct marketer that passed, direct mail guy. Like he was really, really, really good. He said, you got to tell someone you got to tell someone 7 times what the hell you do before they even have a chance of remembering it. So the whole thing is like what Krista's saying is you have to be everywhere all the time. And it doesn't matter what videos the database are seeing, but I like that as she's building a wider audience of attention, then she's retargeting that audience and then squeezing that 10 to 15% of people who are buying out of it,
Think about, I just took a look. My daughter just bought me a dress and she's so cute. Oh my God. I actually bought this, Jay, and it didn't come in. How sexy is that? I love my daughter.
This is a great example of Krista just being whom she is because
I'm speaking at Funnel Hacking Live and I'm looking.
Yeah. And she's like, she got a dress. She's like, oh, because that's just part of the personality.
So that's my daughter. My Mother's Day present early.
Ooh.
You are so awesome. I see there's no. Oh yeah.
So
this is my daughter.
What else would you say?
Okay.
Thanks for the gift, daughter.
I can't wait to put that on.
Who you target on ads if you're running Facebook? Like, so for someone who's listening right now, because the next question you'll be like, well, who's she targeting with this ad spend with this special ads category? What should I target? Should I target my farm because I can't target anyone anymore? Should I? Who should we put our ads in front of?
Mile radius, but there's a couple things. You know this. So if you upload your email list or a certain neighborhood into Facebook, Facebook's algorithm is, even though it's a special ad audience, it's going to look to more to target those types of people and then people that are like them when you create lookalike audiences.
Yep.
So there's ways around it. It's just a matter of being resourceful, right? And trying new things and thinking out what are people's interests. If I'm doing a senior community, I'm gonna do interests that are more senior. If I'm going after like a move up or first time buyer, move up might be moms and that kind of thing. First time buyer might be like getting married. Think about what are interests and you can target some interests. But here's the deal: if it's all about he who has more leverage wins. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the prettiest. If you've got more leverage, it gives you more opportunity. You will close more. When you're being seen in front of 150,000 people every time you record a video, you have more leverage. And even if you're a brand new agent, or you're somebody who's doing just okay, or somebody who's doing really, really well and wants to put up on steroids with rocket fuel, if you create video content on a consistent basis. Did we go dead?
No, you're good. I'm listening.
Okay. If we create content on a consistent basis, it'll work, right? It's just, we got to get out of doing the same old things. And I know you probably hear this all the time because this is what you do, but.
The only time you're right. Cause the only time it doesn't work is if people don't like you. That's the only time I've ever seen it actually occur. Like if people literally don't like you is the only time it doesn't work, because 78% of people close with the first person they meet with. But a lot of that comes in the form of referral, repeat business, or people they already feel like they know, which is what she's really speaking at here, guys. You can't like Krista. If I wanted to take Krista on a date and I was like, Krista, I'm going to get your attention, I'd have to make her laugh first. I'd have to do something. I couldn't just be like, hey, we're going on a date. Like it's the same concept. Like if you want to build you need to create value for other people, whether it's entertainment, whether it's informal, whether it's educational. For all the dudes in the crowd, I'll explain it a different way. Oh
my God. I love this analogy. I use it all the time.
So here's another way. Let's do a sports analogy. Here's why we create content. This is how I used to create content in 2012, in 2011, or 13, whenever I was still in Chicago. I would write a blog post and a video. I'd put a video on top of it. So this is when you had all kinds of targeting in Facebook. And this is why you set up the play action in football. It's the same concept. So you create a good piece of content, say it's on closing costs, and it was something like the top 3 closing costs that nobody knows about in Chicago. And it's really about the $7.50 transfer stamp. That's a pain in the ass and no one knows about. But whoever clicked or engaged on that content, I would then retarget them with my ad. Get your net sheet now, right? So that would be a funnel or a way to start the relationship. I casted a wide net, got people to raise their hand, then I retargeted them, just like the play action in football. Why does the quarterback hand it off before they pass? It's because you have to set up the play. You can't just go straight for the date, straight for the marriage, or straight for the proposal. It doesn't work that way. So you have to create content to create conversation a lot of times. Go ahead. Say that again.
Most people are like, man, I just want to hop in the sack like right now. But unfortunately, that's when we need a little bit more flirting and dating and holding hands, just like your community does.
Yeah, it comes down to basic marketing, and building your brand with your business is no differently than how you build. I mean, it's common human interaction in a sense. You just apply it to marketing. Like if you're not talking to your friends, Chris, if you stop calling all of your friends, are they going to eventually stop talking to you?
Yes, and they'll forget about me too.
Yeah, so you can't get referrals from them anymore, can you?
No, well, so this isn't what you just said is so awesome. So I told you about that one strategy, right? Resulting in 48 seller transactions. What do most people do? They create a lead magnet or a funnel and they say, click here and go to my open house, get a CMA, go to a seller seminar, right? Whatever it might be. But the likelihood that somebody's going to click is very, very, very small. Sharon Cervantes did a study, and he's one of my mentors, who I love. And he says the average it takes about 47 hours of consumption of somebody before you actually develop trust and will want to click. Okay.
47 hours.
47 hours. All right.
Damn.
So what we do with seller content is we create seller content. It might be like one of the videos I just described earlier about, a problem that people are having. Then I can see who's watching that video. So then I send them more videos around the same subject of selling. And I'll do a total of 3 videos, right? Informing. Now I know that somebody that's watched 3 videos is a super hot seller. Notice I didn't say leads. If I ask agents, what do you want in your business? They always say leads, leads, leads. I say, BS, you want conversions, you want closing. So let's put our focus on people that are more likely to convert. After they've consumed 3 videos on selling, then I send them to my funnel. What's my homework? Let's just call it. Okay. Then they click on that because they've seen 3 videos. They're much more likely to say yes. Then I take them to a 2-step phase on that funnel where they now give me more information than just their address and their phone number. They're saying how many bedrooms they have, how motivated are they, what are their upgrades? That's called a 2-step. Those people are super hot, highly motivated sellers. Then from that point, I'm going to retarget them again, testimonials from past clients, and also retarget them marketing material, showing them how I market my homes to position myself as the authority. And from that point, when they ask for that CMA, I hand deliver a CMA. I drop off a marketing plan. I drop off my book. They're in my funnel at this point and in my CRM. They get a digital copy of my book, a digital copy of my marketing plan. I mean, this is what we do in our company, Homes by Krista. They get a 17-minute pre-listing presentation just for requesting a CMA. That strategy alone resulted in 48 closed seller transactions during COVID, and I did not meet one of them. My videos did the work for me. My brother came in and acted as me, but yet when they give the testimonials, they mention Krista because I have indoctrinated myself into the selling process and also the transactional process. Yep. That is how you leverage your time.
That is beautiful. Well put. Yeah. And there's just something about video that gives like people, it gives you like an unfair advantage because people just think you're a celebrity when they see it. And most times, I don't know why that is. There's actually a study done on this, but most times it's because they don't have the balls to do it themselves, to be honest with you. And people respect what others are willing to do that they won't. And that's getting on video is one of them. And it just puts you in that upper position. It also makes people think you're an expert, even if you're not. I'm not a dating coach, but if I start giving you dating advice for 7 shows in a row, you guys would think I'm a dating expert. Right?
It's like, I'm going to go to Mike to learn.
Yeah, they would say, oh, Mike knows what he's talking about. Like, no, I don't. I'm just not scared to talk about it. But that positioning is very powerful when it comes to brand and all of that other fun stuff. So let's do some closing thoughts and we'll wrap it up. Here's what I think is coming. I think that your brand is the only differentiator you have left, period. And if you don't have one, you're going to be working for someone the rest of your life.
You're going to be working at Kmart. I mean, look at Zillow's coming in, trying to disrupt everything. There's and people are going to go to that, but not everybody wants to go to the Zillow. So the top agents that people trust when they want someone that's like above board and has their unique value proposition, they're different, they're innovative, they're seen. Like you want to be known. Well, you've got to be seen. You've got to be heard in order to be known. Right.
Yep.
So quit being such chickens. I mean, look at me, Mike. This is a good example. When you go somewhere across the country, people think they know you, correct? Mm-hmm. And you're just Mike. Like, you're no one special. I'm just Krista. I'm no one special. I'm not a celebrity, but when I go to a real estate thing, people are like hugging me and want to take pictures. I'm just Krista. It's only because they're seeing my content and I'm pushing, so I can front of them top of mind for my coaching. Right.
Yep.
And it's almost uncomfortable. It's the weirdest thing. The same thing happens locally and it can happen to anybody because people are developing what they call a parasocial relationship, a one-sided relationship with that person that they see on the screen. It's just like we do with our movie characters. We fight, we scream, we love, we cry. It's the exact same thing. So when you walk into that listing appointment or that buyer appointment, if you're competing with 3 other people, I guarantee you they've already made the decision to choose you because they would not have called you in the first place if you were properly distributing your content and getting it out there.
Yep. You really do. They'll feel like they know you. I don't know what it is about you, but I don't know what it is about you. They won't figure it out either. That's the funny part. They're like, I just don't know what it is about you. I just feel like I know you, man.
Is there something do you live in Tucson or do you live in this? I see it at the store. I'm like, no, I live in California. It's from video. Like, it's just so cool.
Yeah, it's exactly what happens. All right. Well, awesome. Why don't you go ahead and give our listeners some closing thoughts
right now? I want to go try that dress on. I'm like dying.
All right. So she's got to go try a dress on, but why don't you go tell our listeners where they can find you and learn more about your coaching and all that?
Yeah. So I have an event. It's 2 days. It's 20 hours of coaching with me directly. I teach, how to build online funnels during that course. And we talk all about video and how to properly distribute it. And if you just go to Krista Mashore, KristaMashore.com/2 days live, KristaMashore.com/2 days live. It's a $97 offer. There's a $10,000 value there. My students pay me, thousands of dollars to get 20 hours of coaching with me, and you'll just be blown away.
Love it. Always a pleasure seeing you. Always a pleasure having you on here. Now that everything is getting back to normal, I think I'll see you at a mastermind soon, and we can hang up and grab some wine and some drinks. It'll be a lot of fun.
It's what time is it? It's 3:42. I've got about an hour and 15 before I can crack it open, but I'm getting
Well put. Thank you, folks, for listening to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. Folks, you know where to find me. Visit our website if you need any help with your video strategies, scripting, editing, distribution. That's what we do. We would love to speak with you. Connect with us on Facebook, IG, and YouTube if you like the content you saw here, and you'll see it more in video format. So thanks so much, and we'll see you guys on next week's episode. Peace. Thank you for watching another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. If you need help with video or finding out what your brand is, visit our website at www.realestatemarketingdude.com. We make branding and video content creation simple and do everything for you. So if you have any additional questions, visit the site, download the training, and then schedule time to speak with a dude and get you rolling in your local marketplace. Thanks for watching another episode of the podcast. We'll see you next time.